Hello my people, how una dey? Thank you all for tuning in into this our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on the location where you dey watch me for. From this our channel, na here we dey bring news, we dey react to videos, celebrities matter when e dey happen for inside obodo Naija, and we dey bring out the con dey give una as e dey hot. So my people, I get interesting video when I want make we all watch. My people, but before we go watch just video, I beg if you dey meet us for the first time, make you not forget to subscribe, like, and help us to share the video so that make other people they see wetin dey happen. So my people, make you watch this video to the end, and at the end of the video make you leave your own thought what you think concerning this video, and me myself I go see una at the end of this video to give my own personal thoughts concerning the video. So let's watch this video together.
Hello, my name is Magnus Oraka. I'm a very angry individual in Nigeria, and I'm sure every other Nigerian is also angry. Why? The event of the 25th of February 2023 has been the most ridiculous, the most outraging event that should, as a matter of fact, irk every Nigerian in this planet, on this continent. For the first time, people actually believe they can actually take back this country, and they came out in their numbers, and their goal was to vote one man, Peter Obi, because they had their hopes in that man. But some people who believe that this country is a mere toy, is a mere political battle that can be exchanged between one ethnic tribe and another ethnic tribe, even dared to rub it on our face and said, Emiloko, Awaloko, decided to play the shenanigan that we all saw. So I've decided to tag this video, the Tiunbu's playbook. Let me tell you, they know Peter Obi won this election. They know it. And when indeed Tinubu said Emiloko, it was simple. Tinubu saw that the Fulani cabal were about to play a smart one, particularly when they introduced the screening in APC. He quickly dashed down to Ogun and made the infamous Emiloko speech. And in that speech, in case you didn't know, there were threats. If you go on with this, I'm going to spill the beans. Of course, there's so much secret in APC, such that if everybody begins to know what actually happens in APC, God, this country will be in flame. And therefore they decided to play a script on all of us, and we all fell for it. Tinubu on his own part simply got a lot of people. When they raised the fee to 100 million naira, that was chicken change to Tinubu. All they simply did was to pay for some people to buy the form, allow them to gather enough followership, and then ask them to step down at the end of the day. So in other words, Tinubu simply got money and bought the presidential ticket from APC. Even at that, the cabals from the north didn't want to give it to Tinubu, but he knew so much about APC, such that if the cabals toyed with Tinubu, he was going to expose them. He wrote the script that APC used to bring themselves into power, so he knew exactly what they were doing. So how best can Tinubu be retained? Well, if you're going to be president, we're going to put one of our own to be there with you. Fortunately for the cabals, all that is in Tinubu's mind is just to be president. What happens afterward is not his problem. Trust me, fellow Nigerians, we are going to go through another 8 years of a Buhari version in Tinubu. The only difference is that Tinubu thinks he's got all his corners covered. Unfortunately, that's not true. You're playing with the people who know exactly what they are doing. Now, what they didn't bargain was that the obedient movement was a mere noise. They actually believed that the obedient movement was 4 people tweeting in the room. Don't blame them. These were old men who didn't know what the internet was, who are not contemporary in the dynamics of today's scientific world, and therefore they actually believe it was 4 people tweeting in a room. And when those 4 people tweeted, resonated, they forgot the tree it was going to create. 4 people, each person reaching another 4 people, and those 4 people reaching another 4 people, and before you know it, it was a geometry that they couldn't contain. People came out for the first time and asked people to go and get their voters card. Remember, we started with go and get your PVC, and then we said come out and vote wisely. Then it became vote Pr0blem. They just couldn't understand the synergy with which we all reached everybody to come out and vote. Trust me, they know that Pr0blem won this election, but they believe they are working in a system that doesn't work. They believe the system is failed. When they say go to court, they know that the court does not work. I was watching a program yesterday, and a lawyer was explaining that the judiciary starts from a standpoint of believing that whatever process that INEC takes is deemed to have been correct, that INEC must have done the correct thing. And they're also working on the premise that it has never happened that a litigant won an already concluded election in Nigeria. Well, there's always a first time, and this is that first time. Trust me when I say this, that Nigerians can't be taken for a fool no more. Every time I make a video that borders on the 25th of February 2023, I will never forget this memory. I had gone to vote, and while walking back, I met an old woman in her early 70s or thereabout. And she called out to me and said, "Where can I vote?" And I looked at her voter's card, and I asked, and they pointed her polling unit to me. Incidentally, her polling unit from where I was a good 4 kilometers. I drove her down to where she's supposed to vote. When we got there, they were already counting. I pleaded with them that she should vote. They said, okay, I should wait for them to finish counting, then she will vote. And she actually voted. And that is one of many tales. I saw people who endured the rain only to cast that vote. I saw people who were injured, stabbed, and with bandage came back later to vote. I saw pregnant women, old women, people with one leg, people who were amputated, people who actually believed that Nigeria could be saved, came out to vote. Only for INEC and his corrupt establishment use a pen to write off those hopes. That we will not accept. We will not accept. That woman's blood that was spilled on her shirt, possibly on that ballot, will not go in vain. That woman that I carried in my car and drove for 4 kilometers to enable her to vote, she wasn't voting for herself, she was voting for her children. That woman's vote will not go in vain. Those people who queued from morning till the early morning of the next day only to cast that one vote of hope will not go in vain. How many are those that are suffering us and making us look ridiculous in our own country? They are few. We are in their millions, they are in their tens. We must show them that Nigeria belongs to us and not them. Tiunbu might be an evil genius, maybe a master of the evil play, But we must tell him that that seat is not a birthright. It's not a milocon. It's Nigeria's turn. And our turn is now. We must take it. So what Tinubu simply did was to bank on the fact that Nigerian system is so rotten and corrupt and nothing is going to happen. That was why they played this by far the most ridiculously rigged election ever in the history of any country in the world, and believing that nothing was happen, and they dared you go to court because the court is corrupt. We will not allow this to happen. It won't happen. Nigerians must take their country back, and the time is now. As for Professor Mahmoud, it's a shame that our country can only produce people who label themselves as professors only to show that they are just like the next boy behind my back or the next boy behind the back of my house smoking weed. I thought that a professor is one who has attained the horizon of intellectual prowess. But these are not professors. These are intellectual thugs, intellectual touts, who don't even understand their intellectual integrity, but rather their greed and avarice for finance and money has made them lose the very essence of what we and our children dream to attain, the pinnacle of education. It's a shame. We must take our country back. We cannot be ridiculed for another 8 years, where our president will face the international community only to be bala blowing and bula buying. That we will not accept. So what is the way forward? The way forward is for Nigerians to wait and see whether there's some sanity somewhere in the system. And the last hope of the common man is the judiciary. Let's wait and see if sanity remains there. If we now conclude that there is no sanity in the last hope of the common man, then let Nigeria burn. My name is Magnus Oraka, and I say thank you.